but who better than me?
Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to yet another Base Talks. As always, please like and subscribe. Share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. Always appreciated. Now, I'm not sure if you're seeing this on Thursday when it was recorded or on Friday, just due to so much other content that I've had to put out. But I had a great pleasure as always. It's always love to catch up with man like Craig Spider Richards. Been out of the ring for a very long time, so I managed to have a little opportunity to talk to him and find out sort of what it's been like for him over the last nearly 2 years, how he's how he's coped with everything, the route back, the change of trainer, what we can expect from him over the weekend and moving forward. And we also had a little bit of fun right at the end of the interview. There was a battle of the spiders on camera, and I'm happy that I was the one that created that moment. So let's basically see what happens moving forward. But yes, please enjoy the video and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the other side. This is Base the Kid, the hardcore casual, and I'm delighted finally on the channel to be joined by Mr. Next Gen himself, Craig Spider Richards. Craig, how are you, man? How's it feel to be back?
It feels good to be back. Next Gen 2.0. I'm back in full effect. Nah, it's not about the show. I needed the activity, and it was first London show. So he said, "Oh, you want to fight in a couple of weeks?" I said, "Yeah, of course. I don't know where, what it's called. Get me out." So it feels good to be back.
So to get the crazy conspiracies out of the way, how does it feel to be off the shadow ban?
I know. Have you even heard of a shadow ban before? I'm like, that's never been even heard in boxing, number one. And two, I was always saying, why would they protect me of all people? Conor just under investigation. You had Dylan White, you have all these big names, but they're going to shadow me. Come on, silly.
No, it's funny because when Eddie first brought that up, I said, "Oh, it's ridiculous. They're saying that Craig's Richards on," and I was thinking, of all the names to state, like, why Craig? But
have I ever been protected in boxing by opponent-wise or anything else? I've never been a protected fighter. So why would I be the first boxer they ever protected and hide this from? Come on.
It's crazy. But look, we're here now. You said back in the ring, 19 months out. Tell me, how has it felt mentally having to stay disciplined, stay in control, stay fit and active, knowing that the one thing that you really love to do has been eluding you for so long? How has that felt to you?
Yeah, it was a very frustrating period, but I always had hope in terms of there's light at the end of the tunnel. In life, we always have challenges inside of boxing and outside of boxing. But every time I look back at all my challenges, when I reflect on it, it's just like, oh yeah, that was just a building period, or it's gone past now and it didn't really matter afterwards. So in my head, I always thought this is going to be something I look back and talk about in the future. So I didn't take it too hard, but guys like Tony Sims, he was a good part, played a part in that down period when I was out injured. He kept me motivated, kept me in the gym every day and helped me work on other stuff while I was injured, etc. And it was just staying positive, knowing I'm going to get back to it and not losing myself and end up in the clubs and drinking. It was just staying disciplined and staying an athlete the whole time.
Good stuff, good stuff. So look, you've obviously recently changed trainers. I don't particularly care why, and I don't think the people do. You're with Shane McGuigan now. What has Shane unlocked in you, or what has he maybe tweaked or worked on that you has maybe taken you to that next level? You're like, raw, I didn't know I had this in the locker.
Oh, so much. He showed me straight away my flaws from my fights. Not only just my fights, but even when I'm sparring, even when I'm punching, the way I'm punching, everything. He's unlocked so much flaws in man and corrected and shown me a lot of ways I should be doing things and shown me how I've not been unlocking a lot of my assets. And even things I thought I was doing well weren't necessarily positive for me. And he's taken that away and showed me different ways of how to use certain things. So he's very clever, but his CV talks for himself. Look how much world champions he's produced. I think he's probably produced like one of the most in Britain. So I think, yeah, that speaks for itself at such a young age. And he's definitely showed me how to get the best out of myself. Obviously, it's a work in progress. Only been there a couple months now. So it's going to take some time to ingrain everything. But I'm definitely moving in the right direction.
Now, you've always been a person that's like been good for the gym, good for the morale, good for the character, good for the work ethic. You're now in there with people the likes of IBO champion Caroline Dubois, WBO champion Chris Billum-Smith. How was like being amongst these people, like what?
Don't forget Ellie Scotney, IBF.
I wasn't going to forget her. No, Ellie, big up, cap for Blue Bar every day, all day. But these people being amongst like world champions, people that hunger, work ethic, you can clearly see the improvement in them. How has it been like being around them as well?
It's great, but I didn't come from a gym what didn't have high level fighters and work effort. Cordina, Conor, Ryder, all these guys worked extremely hard as well. So it's not like I'm leaving one gym who wasn't working hard to go to another. Both top gyms, both top athletes in both the gyms, but I'm a guy who I'm great, is able to bounce off of them and them to push me and me to push them, but I'm always self-motivated anyway. If I was on a room on my own, I'll be working hard. I've had to do that from amateur days. Sometimes the amateur coach had to give me the keys and allow me to just work on my own at 12 at night. I saw some old videos of me just in the gym on my own doing the night shifts. So I don't need anyone to motivate me, but it's nice to have people on the same stuff you're on in the gym.
If there's one thing about your link up with Shane at this particular moment, because he's, like you said, there's been a lot of micro improvements, he's unlocking things, but if there's one thing that you've really taken stock of so far, what has that been? Whether it's a shot, whether it's a foot placement or anything?
I think a bit of everything. Hand placement, hand punches, footwork, understanding myself more, just being a bit more seasoned and tidied up a bit. Even mindset, certain things are going into the mindsets and stuff of fights and telling me how to make the difference in these big fights. He's like, we need to start switching these around, these big fights, and making sure make it count. So it's everything. He's really developing me as a person, fighter and everything.
Okay, so talking about Saturday night now, you're facing Boris Crichton. Now, I was actually given a list of other names potentially for you. When I saw this fight come up, I said, oh, actually, do you know what? For a comeback fight, Boris, that's pretty tough. He's only ever been stopped once before. He's been in there with other people that I feel like you've wanted to get in there with in the past. So, what do you think he's going to ultimately pose as a challenge for you in this fight?
I think a lot. He's a strong guy. He knows how to box. He's got a massive amateur pedigree. International pedigree also. He's strong. He knows what he's doing in there. We've seen when he took the fight with Lyndon on just a couple of days' notice, he went 10 rounds and hurt him twice in the fight. So we know he ain't no mug. Lyndon is at a high level and he's able to cause him all sorts of problems. So I know he ain't no pushover. I've got to be switched on, and that's why it's a good fight to come back. It ain't no mug.
Speaking of Lyndon, so obviously, like you said, Lyndon Arthur went 10 rounds with him. Now, that's a potential fight maybe you could have in the future, yourself versus Lyndon Arthur. I guess maybe the appeal isn't as much now that the IBO belt is no longer with him. But that being said, it's still a good British dust up, and especially when you're on your comeback trail. So, would there be anything in you saying, I want to almost do a little bit better than him to maybe promote that further, or is this all about you and your next journey?
This is all about me and my next journey. I'll be honest, it's all about me zoning in, no pressure, no one else on the outside, me implicating the things that I'm trying to work on the gym, moving forward and becoming a better fighter and a better person in that ring. So I'm zoned out of the division right now. It's all about me right now.
Okay, now, not to look past Boris, but after this fight, because obviously whether win, lose or draw, there is still another career to go. Are you hoping to maybe get out again, maybe before the end of April, just to sort of get another few rounds under the belt, potentially leading up to that Matchroom 5v5?
I'm just looking to get some activity. I don't know about before anything. It's all about just getting activity for this year. One step at a time. They've said to me, right, do you want this fight on the 10th? I said yes. Win, God willing, I win. We move on and see what the next stage is and when the next date is. So it's one step at a time for me.
Okay. Now, I know you've said that, but you know what? I'm going to be a bit messy. I'm gonna push you on a couple things. So, again, we've got 5v5 potentially coming up. It's almost a dead cert that light heavyweight is going to be one of those categories that they call. If they give you the call for that, even after maybe just one fight back after 19 months, will you accept it, or do you think, I want to make sure that my career is keeping forward? I know I can beat these guys, but I need to make sure that I'm in the best light for me.
Look, for me, same like this fight this Saturday, I leave it down to my team. Whatever they think's best, they tell me, look, we got you a unification in 2 weeks. You believe I can do it? Yeah, let's go. If you say, look, this ain't the right time, cool. If you say, let's fight, then I'm ready to go. Like, I believe Shane watches me every day in the gym. And he's got knowledge of boxing, so he knows what's best for my career. So for me now, I'm not making them decisions, it's all on for Shane. If he says green light, I'm in.
Fair enough. Okay, last couple. So over the last weekend, we just had Dan Aziz and Joshua Buatsi fighting. We had Ben Whittaker on the bill. We also had Khalil Cole over in the States as well. So 4 prime light heavyweights. I know that they're kind of interested. I know Khalil especially is interested in names like yourself, Joshua. Before even all of that, what was your thoughts on the fight, and like how did you see it playing out, and did it go as you predicted?
Which one, Aziz?
Yeah,
I did. Exactly any prediction you saw me having before the fight, that's how I predicted the fight would go. I feel like Josh is a very good operator, and I believe because of the way me and his fight went, people started discrediting him a bit. Oh, he got hurt, he showed signs of tiredness. So all I had to do to beat him is 4, 5 and 6. But I'm saying you got to do 1, 2 and 3 before you get to 4, 5 and 6 with him. And it's the same thing when they discredited Bivol after I fought him. And then obviously he went and showed, he's like, he's not as good as we thought he was. Then he goes out and beats Canelo and Ramirez. Like, oh, okay, maybe Craig just put on a good performance. Buatsi, I said it's going to be the same thing. Once he fights again domestically, people are going to see his level again. And they're going to understand it was just that it was 2 top elite guys going head to head that night. That's what it was for me.
And what do you think about the rise of, I guess, Ben Whittaker and almost this viral sensation he's become overnight? He's done the same things he's been doing, but this time just a bigger audience that seem to pick it up. What do you see his trajectory? And if you say you're around and his trajectory picks up quicker, is that a fight that you could potentially see in the future, or is he just way down the line for you?
We're looking too far into the future. You never know what goes on with boxing, but it's good that he's doing his job. He's entertaining the fans, and he's going out and getting the wins. So credit to him to keep doing what he's doing.
All right, Craig, last one. I'm going to leave this to you. Why should the people tune in on DAZN this Saturday and see the return of Craig Spider Richards?
Because I'm never in a boring fight and it's going to be fireworks.
Actually, no, I can't say that's the last one. I have to mention this, and I know it wasn't your fault, but you've been gone so long that a next man on this bill's tried to take your name. Well, we got a next Spider on the bill, man. How are we going to work that one night in the matchroom team?
JK's over there. We should ask JK. JK. He just asked me, what's going to go on with this name thing?
When did I see you? When was it?
Last summer.
Upper Tire show?
Yeah.
Upper Tire Thompson. September 30th.
Yeah.
So maybe the 25th we had this conversation,
Yeah.
It was like, what are we going to do about this name thing? Yeah. The first time I ever met you, what did I tell you? How many years ago?
Yeah, you said you had a guy.
I got a boy called Spider.
Yeah.
So I told him this maybe... I'm trying to think that was a long time ago. Maybe a Coley, maybe back... Was it a Coley and... the mixed race guy from Luton?
Watkins.
I think it was that fight, it might have been. But I remember I told my man about this, and we had this laugh. And then when we seen each other in September, so what are we going to do about this? I was like, you know what? I said to Frank, because Frank, make sure we never get put on the same show. He's like, that's not going to happen. And look now, bro, now we're here.
I said it was going to happen.
Now we're here.
So now we just got to try and work out, where is he? Is he? Solomon, come in here. Listen, we need to work out what we're going to do here. So, he is the next guy coming through. So we're going to have to try and work something. Maybe we'll call it Spider Next Gen, or something.
I've already told him, you are Spider, but the fake one. I'm the real one.
We all know the real Spider here.
Listen, we're going to fight. We're going to fight in Saudi. We're going to make a fight happen in
Catch
Saudi.
weight, we'll just swing it. Or car park. Either way.
Anybody can get it.
Anyone can get it.
African, American, Dominican, Puerto Rican.
But we're going to have to work something out to work this out. Maybe we'll do Spider and Spider-Man or something. We'll work it out. But we're gonna sort it out. We'll solve it.
Yeah.
Solomon, thanks for jumping in. Craig, thank you very much for your time. Look, best of luck on the weekend, all right?
You as well.
So look, most people who know me know that usually I'm not the one for the mix-up. I don't get involved. I'm not really one to stoke the fires, but I wanted to play a little bit of a role in this one particular. And sometimes someone well enough to, all you got to do is say one thing and you manage to light the spark and things happen. So obviously in this one, you saw Craig, you saw Danny Glover in the video as well. You obviously saw JK, and you saw Solomon Ibrahim as well. Battle of the Spiders. It was a very, very interesting dynamic, and I was happy to be the one that captured it, caused it. There was once I turned the camera off, there was still a bit more back and forth between the two teams. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting moving forward. But it's always good to catch up with Craig. Obviously, I know that anytime I need to shout out to him, I could always reach out and he always hit me back. So it's just good to have him back. Hopefully he can show why he was seen as one of the best light heavyweights in the country. And there's been a while that his name hasn't really been mentioned alongside some of the others, so now it's his chance to get himself back in those conversations, and I'm sure he will, no matter what happens moving forward. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Leave your comments, let me know how you feel. I hope it was enjoyable, and yeah, I will catch you all on the next video. But until then, talk to you soon. Peace.